Andy Montoya with Bridgewave Communications. We do point-to-point gigabit wireless products, anywhere ranging from half mile out to 6 miles now. So it works if you have the phone, the microphone up. So okay. So we deliver gigabit wireless products that operate in the 60 gigahertz unlicensed frequency, 80 gigahertz licensed frequency, 18 gigahertz licensed frequency, and 23 gigahertz licensed frequencies. The unique thing about Bridgewave is that we deliver full rate, full duplex, 1,000 megabits with our radios. And we do it all with a single outdoor unit, all outdoor unit. We don't have any indoor unit devices that are required as part of the solution. So Bridgewave has been around since 1999. We started shipping our point-to-point gigabit wireless products back in 2004. And since then, we have accomplished delivering upwards of about 25,000 point-to-point gigabit wireless links worldwide. We've accomplished a majority of that with the 60 and the 80 gigahertz product line. And in order to extend our distances and market share, we expanded our same solution into the 18 and 23 gigahertz line to get us a gigabit worth of bandwidth all the way out to 6 to 8 miles. So this is kind of in a nutshell, a summary of kind of how Bridgewave has evolved since 2004. What I will emphasize here is you can see a litany of Bridgewave products that have been introduced into the market since 2004. This is what's revealing in this particular slide is that Bridgewave is definitely established themselves as the market leader. A lot of other wireless manufacturers are coming into the market and delivering first generation products. They're trying to replicate what our success we've had in the gigabit space. We're on 4th gen, 5th generation types of products now, and they're on their 1st gen. So we have a lot of proven capability. As time evolved, we did a few things. We started in 60 gigahertz, which was basically relegated to about a half mile worth of 1,000 megabits full rate, full duplex of throughput. We expanded that into the 80 gigahertz, which got us a lot greater distance, relative to the 80, and it got us out to about 2 miles of distance in the 80 gigahertz license spectrum. And then we expanded into the 18 and the 23 gigahertz spectrum to basically extend the gigabit distances all the way out to 6 miles now. In addition, in parallel to this, we've expanded the products to actually support beyond the gigabit capability now. In the FP83000 product, we can deliver 2.5 gigabits, full rate, full duplex. So that's a 5 gigabit system. It's the only system in the marketplace today that is able to deliver a gigabit beyond 1 mile today. We've introduced, and we're in the immediate term, we're introducing some small cell types of solutions that will be meant for basically LTE backhaul. So when we look at why you would want to consider different types of solutions for gigabit connectivity, this particular slide talks through the sort of the buying criteria that you have, the 6 factors of the buying criteria for high-speed connectivity. You got high capacity, distance, difficulty of deployment, cost, interference, and future-proofing your networks. So as you can see here with this slide, not everyone's a perfect solution, and I would be remiss to say that to try to promote and say that wireless is better than fiber in all cases. There are some cases when Bridgewave solution will prevail because the cost and the difficulty of deployment is so much lower than fiber. But as you can see, with millimeter wave, you can accomplish a majority of the checklists associated with, associated with the need to deliver and accomplish a gigabit connectivity. The limiting thing with millimeter wave is the distance, and then basically, if you want 5 nines of availability, you're looking at about a mile and a half worth of distance. We've addressed that. With our microwave-based products, 18 and 23 gigahertz products, which now can deliver a gigabit out to about 6 miles. anywhere in the U.S. So all in all, we have a portfolio that really can deliver and accomplish a gigabit connectivity with at distances out to 6 miles. Deployment costs are at a minimum. It usually takes our partners to deploy these things, maybe about 2.5, 3 days, whereas it can take, it could take 6 to 8 months to plow fiber from 6 to 8 miles, and it can be very costly. Whereas these systems can be deployed and installed within a matter of days, versus you're talking months and all the project management, product stuff that has to go along with that. So why would you consider gigabit wireless over these other alternatives? One thing is we're a lot lower cost. Our products range in price from basically 10K a pair, so for a link, up to about 30K. So if you compare that with the cost of what it would take to lease a gigabit circuit, you're going to pay $5,000 a month, you can start seeing the return on investment for a gigabit path that you've established, for a 2 mile to connect 2 buildings that are 2 mile apart at a much lower cost, and your rate of return on investment is pretty attractive. Time to installs, as I mentioned, our products can be deployed within 2 to 3 days. Licensing in the 18 and 23 would require that, that might be a 4 to 6 week process, but with the 60 gigahertz, it's unlicensed. They can be deployed off the shelf the next day. 80 gigahertz is very, very attractive from a licensing perspective. The licenses for those 80 gigahertz paths can be accomplished within, or acquired from the FCC within a matter of 48 hours. So we have a lot of flexibility with the different types of spectrums that our solutions are operating within to deliver, a very proven solution in the Bridgewave gigabit product. So if we compared, let's say we take a half-mile path on say a healthcare campus, and if you looked at the column on the left here, that would be what our products. One of our gigabit products, the G60, is $17,900. We list price for a pair of radios. Installation charges somewhere around $5,000. Extended warranty. So for the full kit and caboodle, you're basically going to get a gigabit between those two buildings at $25K. If you compare that to what it would cost to lease lease line service from an ILAC, over a 3-year period, that's going to run you about $180,000. So they typically require you to sign up to a 3-year contract. So as you can see, the return on investment when you deploy a Bridgewave product as an alternative to the lease line service is a very attractive return on investment of about 5 to 7 months. That's the kind of message that any CFO would love to hear in terms of cost savings for companies today. One thing I want to mention, it's important that when you're delivering gigabit speeds and you're doing an abundant amount of bandwidth, you want to make sure that that bandwidth is secure. So we do have AS 256-bit encryption built into the radios. It's an integrated hardware solution. And it does. The great thing about this particular implementation of encryption in our radios is that it performs at line rate, line speed. So we're still 1,000 megabits, full rate, full duplex with 256 encryption turned on, and that is at any frame size. And since we're doing this in hardware, it's a very, very low latency, so you can still do voice, video, data applications without concerns about the AS encryption option, delay and creating, latency that could impair other systems that do not have a hardware implementation. So one of the primary applications that's been very popular in the last couple of years for us is basically implementing backhaul for video surveillance traffic. And so what we do in most cases, our implementations are, there's mesh type of technology that are used to aggregate video streams, video traffic from various cameras onto a mesh node. And then what Bridgewave does, what the Bridgewave solution is backhaul that traffic over a ring that is established. And you build these rings just as if you're building fiber, unless except these greens can be installed in a matter of, of days. A full network like this up here could be deployed probably within 2 weeks, versus if you try to, dig up that many streets in a downtown area, you're gonna be looking at a very, very long, lengthy project just because of all the permitting process to dig up streets. So in our case, what we do in the backhaul is we're basically just taking these packets, forwarding on at gigabit speeds, and providing the capability of gigabit wireless. All the features that you would gain in fiber, but we're doing this with fiber wireless solutions. How that benefits the end users is that it allows them to future-proof their network. They may not need a gigabit out of the gate, but our products can scale from 125 meg. You didn't need a gig out of the gate. It started with 125 meg, and then software upgrade without any hardware changes. You don't have to dispatch to the site. You can upgrade from 125 to 250 to 500 to 1,000. So we really allow the clients to future-proof their networks, giving them gigabit capability out of the gate. The solution it's a layer 2 based solution, so we're basically taking Ethernet packets and sending it over the air. We have drop-add capabilities within each of those radios, and so basically we're taking an Ethernet connection in from any radio that provides and feeds Ethernet-based interface to us. One of the best benefits of using Bridgewave in a video surveillance application is when they're using 4.9 gigahertz to basically deliver and aggregate all that camera traffic, and that spectrum is a 4.9 gigahertz spectrum is very, very precious. And rather than tying up that 4.9 spectrum to use as backhauling that traffic, instead they deploy Bridgewave products as the backhaul solution so that they can serve their 4.9 spectrum and utilize that in other areas where they want to deploy more and more cameras for more and more surveillance coverage. One of our first implementations in the video surveillance was the city of Dallas. We implemented this back in actually 2005. It's the city of Dallas. The main aspects of this particular deployment, we had basically they had a surveillance area as depicted here in the mosaic circles on the screen here. And what they did is they built a ring of about 7 different links that are backhauling back to the Dallas Police Headquarters. And what they found is that they've significantly deterred crimes in that area. They found that most likely crime moves to other areas, so they got to deploy more and more cameras. So it's kind of the nature of the beast, but it is providing a great solution that's economical for the city of Dallas. So in a nutshell, why would you consider Bridgewave or other wireless alternatives? We're the most widely deployed millimeter wave product in the marketplace today, given we've been deploying since 2004. That's almost 9 years of deploying product today. We have products that operate in various frequency spectrums, the 60, the 80, and now the 18 and the 23 gigahertz products. This product above me here is actually a G80 product that operates in the 80 gigahertz space. That can deliver a full 1,000 megabits, full rate, full duplex, up to about 2 miles. We have a carrier class feature set that supports all the intricate feature sets required for backhaul of carrier Ethernet forum types of protocols. So we've got a very feature rich if you need those types of features. Our experience in deploying Bridgewave has been over the past 9 years, where we've been ISO 9001 certified for the past 10 years. And we continue to grow. We have newer products coming out in the next probably year or so. So our success we've reinvested it in R&D because the market moves ahead. We're trying to reduce costs as much as possible. But today, when you compare us to fiber, you're not going to find a better solution in the marketplace today than Bridgewave in terms of reliability and the fact that it's been proven with over 25,000 systems deployed worldwide. So that's the message. That's the story about Bridgewave. I'm open to any questions.